has already introduced a separate offer with smaller down payments for credits over €250,000, the ceiling up to which the debt discharge law is applicable. Although lending is recovering in Romania against the backdrop of low interest rates, the European Commission warns that uncertainty might backfire, with the most significant risks identified in relation to the uncertainties triggered by the debt discharge law. The Commission says the law may have a substantial negative impact on investor confidence as well as on long-term lending prospects. The controversial law has already been published in the Official Journal of Romania, which means that as of May 30th, debtors may show up in bank offices to hand out their home keys in exchange for having their debt settled.
You have been listening to Radio Newsreel on Radio Romania International in Bucharest.
Listening to Radio Romania International.
Focus on Romania. Next on Radio Romania International, Society Today.
Welcome to Society Today. I am Vlad Palcu with Ana Maria Popescu. Getting a good employment agreement has in recent years become an impossible mission for many Romanians, especially for people over 45 years of age, who at present account for 28% of the total number of unemployed in Romania. No longer in their prime, these people are unemployed at a time when their value, experience and skill accrued over the years should be rewarded. According to the National Employment Agency, at the end of 2015, 56.56% of Romania's unemployed were over 40 years. Of these, more than half were aged 50 or above. The majority of the unemployed now look to vocational retraining schemes, trying to learn a new trade after a lifetime of working in the same place. But this too does not guarantee them they will get a job. Such is the case of Vasile from Piatra Neamț. He is 50 years old and unemployed for several years.
De 3 ani de când am fost în șomaj, caut servici și foarte greu să găsesc.
In the last 3 years since I've been unemployed, I have been looking for a job, but it's been very difficult. People over 50 have a hard time getting a job. You go to an employer, he says he will hire you, you file your resume and you wait, but in the end, you don't get an answer. He hires instead people who are younger than you. After I filed for unemployment benefits, I took up vocational retraining classes. I studied accounting and IT, but no one will hire you, even with these diplomas. Employers look for qualified people. They don't want people to train themselves. Constantin is also from Bucharest. He's 48 years old and he took up vocational retraining classes which have done little to earn him a job.
În anul 2010 am fost trimis în șomaj și nu ni s-a oferit nicio
In 2010 I was laid off and offered no position to retrain for. The state spends huge amounts of money simply because it doesn't provide training for other trades that are sought for on the labor market. The Labour Ministry should work with other public institutions. They achieve little by training people if they can't place them on the market. They don't help you with anything. They give you employment benefits all year round. Instead of training people, they would rather hire people straight off the market. If they don't have the specific skills, your chances of getting a job are slim. Therefore, people like Constantin and Vasile face a lot of discrimination, even though the Romanian legislation specifically forbids age-specific discrimination in the field of employment. The Anti-Discrimination Coalition does help you identify the public authorities where you can file a complaint describing the inequity or bias you are faced with. Teodora Ion Rotaru, PR and Communication Officer with the Anti-Discrimination Coalition, has more details.
Este adevărat că un loc unde discriminarea poate să fie mult mai evidentă decât în alte domenii.
The workplace is the only other place where discrimination becomes more visible. Elderly people are faced with such forms of discrimination, but we at the Anti-Discrimination Coalition can help them by providing them with free-of-charge judicial counseling straight on our website anti-discriminare.ro. These people can talk directly to a legal expert about the methods they can use to prove they have been subject to age-specific discrimination. They can also inquire regarding the kind of evidence they can provide in this respect, whether the situation they are confronted with actually involves forms of discrimination, as well as about the institutions they might further refer their case to. European studies show that Romania is one of the European countries with the highest incidence of discrimination. On the other hand, Romanians' perception of discrimination is lower. Romanians don't perceive discrimination the same way as other foreign citizens, neither do they fully know their rights in order to be able to defend themselves when discriminated against. It's very important that people should notify the authorities when facing discrimination. The anti-discrimination law is there, it is comprehensive and covers the labor field. But in order to be enforced, we encourage people facing discrimination to address the Anti-Discrimination Coalition and go to the relevant institutions to seek justice.
Every year, the National Employment Agency organizes vocational training programs aimed at ensuring the growth and diversification of professional skills, with the purpose of guaranteeing mobility and reintegration on the labor market. In 2016, the agency will organize 2,200 such programs for approximately 42,000 people who will benefit from free-of-charge professional training. Last year, as a result of the measures taken under the employment program, some 108,000 people aged above 45 were reintegrated on the labor market. Daniela Știrbu, the head of the communication department with the National Employment Agency, gave us more details.
La cursul lunii martie 2016, la nivel național, sunt în derulare 171 de programe.
In March 2016, there were 171 vocational training programs running nationwide, attended by 3,252 people. Most such programs qualify people as sales clerks, cooks, data operators, plumbers, hairdressers, or waiters. Most people who attended these classes were from Brașov, Bihor, Hunedoara, Mureș, and Covasna counties. For further details, people can address our territorial branches in the area of their residence.
And this has been all in today's edition of Society Today, a feature you are invited to also revisit on rri.ro as well as on RRI's Facebook profile.
Coming up next on Radio Romania International, Visit Romania.
Welcome to Visit Romania with me, Ana Maria Popescu. Today I'm taking you on a tour of Cluj-Napoca, a city with a long-standing tradition lying in the central western part of the country. Cluj-Napoca's old and newer squares, welcoming narrow streets, impressive museums, old buildings and large parks make for a great city break destination. Manuela Câmpean, head of the Tourism and Community Relations Department in the Cluj-Napoca City Hall, tells us more about what the city has to offer.
Vechiul casino al orașului este în prezent un centru de cultură urbană, este adăpostit în parcul central.
The city's old casino building is today a center of urban culture, and its location in the Central Park offers it great surroundings. Cluj has a lot of museums and very diverse ones, including the Art Museum, the Pharmacy History Museum, the museums of the Babeș-Bolyai University and of the Veterinary Medicine College, the Taylor's Tower, which hosts a series of temporary exhibitions, the Botanical Gardens. Also, the Transylvania Ethnographic Museum has an outdoor section, the Ethnographic Park. Another great place to visit is the Citadel Hill, with its spectacular vista on the entire city, says Manuela Câmpean. A spot not to be missed by any tourist is the so-called Mirror Street, with a surprising near-perfect symmetry of buildings on the two sides.